gentlemen, my name's Wes, and this is my 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, also known as a Jeep WK. It has the 5.7 liter Hemi. I have noticed there's not a tremendous amount of videos on YouTube about the 2005 Grand Cherokee. We'll probably get into later videos. There's a change that happens from 2005 to 2006. There's not a lot of videos, there's not a lot of aftermarket support, so I figured I'd start some videos, and if you guys enjoy them, I'll continue to make more. But I had to make this video quick, down and dirty, because I'm going to be making some upgrades on it tomorrow, and I wanted to show you what it looked like beforehand. So, hope you enjoy. And I'd like to give you a little bit of background on the Jeep and what's been done to it so far. I purchased this in June of 2015 at a dealership in Columbia, South Carolina. It had completely worn out tires on it when I was purchasing it, and they wanted to take $400, or they wanted to put new tires on it. I told them just take $400 off and I'd get tires myself. These are 245 65 17 Firestone Destination ATs. Paid about $700 for them installed with tire protection and alignment. They've served me very well. They're good on the highway, don't make a whole lot of road noise, but I've also done pretty well off-road as well. I work in construction, so I drive through a lot of muddy job sites. I've had this thing buried up to the floor plans, and it has just pulled through no problem. Really the only other upgrade I've done since I purchased it was to change out the rear bumper. When I bought it, it had, when I called about it, I was told it had a factory tow package, which it did not. It had a factory bumper with an aftermarket hitch, which hung out below that bumper. So I found this one on Craigslist, the bumper skin and the hitch for $250. And one, I think it looks a lot better. Two, it definitely increases your departure angle, because before I was just always pulling dirt and mud out of the hitch that hung out below the bumper. The only other upgrade that I've done is a K&N cold air intake, which I'll show you now. One, the factory intake was just enormous with all its chambers and resonators. I mean, that thing was huge and heavy. I've now replaced it with the K&N intake, which I believe I purchased on Amazon. It's served me well. I believe it gave me a little bit of a power increase. It also makes it sound better. Before, this thing was completely docile with the factory intake, factory exhaust. Now it makes a little bit of noise on acceleration. To me, it sounds like an episode of Cops with just the intake sucking, but hopefully down the road I'll be able to get an exhaust on here as well. I have my eyes on the Borla, but we'll see what happens. I've also pulled the engine cover off, a little plastic cover that says Hemi on it. I just didn't think it needed to be there. I felt it was unnecessary weight and maybe even holding a little bit of heat in, so I removed that as well. Well, that's about it for everything that's been changed as far as upgrades. The only repairs that I have had to make was I had to replace the starter, which maybe I'll try and get a picture here for you guys. But that starter, you cannot even see it from underneath the vehicle. You can't even get to it to hit it with a hammer. So I had to have that done by a shop. I also replaced the power steering pump, which I did myself. You can see it there. It's a pretty easy swap out. I went with a new part versus a remanufactured. And I actually originally ordered one from Mopar, and it came with a cracked pulley. So I got an aftermarket new pump, and it actually came with a metal pulley instead of one of those composite plastic ones. The one big thing you do have to watch out on these WKs, at least the 05, is the power steering pump powers your cooling fan. So it's a hydraulically powered cooling fan. And if you use the improper fluid in your power steering pump, it can cause problems with your pump, your rack. That's not what caused my problem. I think the pump just failed. But you have to get this Mopar specific fluid, which is $18 a quart. But it's a lot better to pay that than replace your rack and pinion. So Alright, I told you I had to do a quick down and dirty video, and we're running out of daylight now, and this is the reason why. Tomorrow I'm having these installed. Bilstein 5100 series shocks and struts. Main reason I picked these is they have a adjustable spring perch, so you can set them anywhere from 3/4 of an inch of lift to 3 inches of lift, I believe. And I did this just for upgrades down the road when this is no longer a daily driver and more of a toy. All I have to do is raise up that lower spring perch, put some spacers in the back, and I've got a lifted WK Grand Cherokee. So I just wanted to get this video in here so you had some shots of it before these were installed, and might do a little bit of in-car later. It really needs it. These struts are worn out. It's got 140,000, well, 143 on it now, and like I mentioned earlier, I work on construction sites, so that certainly doesn't help the cause. So they're pretty well worn out. It does not ride well right now, but I'm hoping once we put these on tomorrow, she's going to ride better than she ever has. So we'll see. We'll get some videos here, and if you guys enjoyed watching this, and maybe we'll do some how-to videos down the road as I make other upgrades and repairs, some lifestyle videos, we'll see. But just want to get this on tape, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.
Alright guys, you probably won't be able to get a good feel of what the suspension is doing right now, but I figured we'd at least do a quick in-car. Maybe I can get you a little feel for the acceleration this thing has. So here we go. State Trooper. I don't know if you could feel that one. Hopefully you heard it. Things pretty bad with these struts and shocks on here. You might be able to hear that too. That's the next on the list after the shocks and struts are done, is replacing the front brakes and rotors. Gonna go with an upgrade set there as well, but it does have some pulsation under heavy braking, so probably gonna go with the EBC green stuffs. I had those on my Tahoe and they seem to work pretty well, so that'll be the next upgrade.
Alright, we've got a few more minutes of light here, so I figured we'd do a quick unboxing video for you, show what I'm talking about with this adjustable spring perch. This is the strut itself, and hopefully you can see this. It's got these different grooves in this clip for the different perch heights. And in the box here you have your perch for holding the spring, and all you have to do is change that clip and raise the perch mount, and that will in turn lift the vehicle. But these are supposed to be really good shocks. They came out a few years ago for the Jeep, but they were primarily, the 5100s were used primarily on heavy duty or, you know, quarter-ton, half-ton pickup trucks. So I'm hoping for good results. I decided to go, you know, a step above factory, and like I said, it gives me that flexibility down the road. Same thing with the shocks. They are also made to allow for lift as well. So, like I said, all I have to do is throw some spacers in the back, and we'll have some lift on the vehicle if I want to do that down the road. I'll take some measurements too to give you, you know, the height from the tire to the wheel opening before and after the lift. But I'm hoping for good things, and hope you guys enjoyed this. And you know, if you guys like it, we'll do more videos. I'll get a little better equipment and see where this goes. So enjoy.